I've been chasing the aurora for around 2 years now, and seeing the aurora in action in a beautiful landscape is overwhelming. It never ever grows old when you see those beams dancing across the sky.
So I've been chasing aurora for about 4 years now, and what got me hooked was one particular night in 2012. A friend contacted me and said, apparently there's an aurora that's going to happen very soon, so do you want to come check it out? So we headed down, we got out of the car, set up our cameras, I looked up at the sky and basically couldn't believe what we were seeing. The night sky just filled with light, and it just moved across the sky, and there was nothing I had ever seen before.
An aurora occurs when energy from the sun in the form of solar wind reaches the earth, is funneled down through our poles, makes contact with the various gases in the atmosphere which produce the amazing colors. And if it isn't raining, if it's nighttime, we get an aurora. In the southern hemisphere, Tasmania and of course Antarctica are premium locations for actually viewing an aurora. About 20 years ago, I first saw an aurora, and ever since then I've been looking for a way to be notified that another one was actually occurring. So about 3 years ago, I realized that social media was the perfect vehicle for this. And so now we have this setup where we can actually let each other know when one is really occurring. Now, get out there.
I'm very reliant on the Aurora Australis Tasmania Facebook group. It's full of aurora nerds that know what they're looking at and can help you understand if something's happening and if it's worthwhile getting out there and chasing it.
So most of the time you have a bit of an idea that there's an aurora coming within a few days. So we keep an eye on the forecasts. A lot of people interpret those forecasts really, really well. I don't. I'll quite often call a mate to interpret it for me. And in the aurora chasing community, you've got people that are going out every night and letting the rest of us know that the aurora is actually happening that night. If things look good, I'd concentrate on the location I'm going to head to and what's happening with the weather and so on, and try and interpret that. And then I go through a list of all the little bits and pieces that I'm going to need and put them in the car. I'll head off and then try and get myself into a unique location before dark. I'm thinking during that time about my compositions and where I'd like to go, and I'm using that time to kind of develop the shot I'd like to take in my mind. It's always the goal in my back of mind to reach the summit of Cradle Mountain when I head out aurora chasing. And whether that means I get to Dove Lake Car Park, or that means I get to Marion's Lookout, or I get to Kathleen's Pool, I would say 70% of the time I end up making it to the summit, and the rest of those times I either get clouded out or I get a shot and the aurora dies down. I think most people wouldn't realise how many nights I am actually out chasing the aurora but come home with nothing. I'm quite often, driving for a couple of hours, hiking for a couple of hours, to stand in cloud for a few hours. So I've still got a collection of beautiful photos, but just not many of them are auroras.
You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to be a photographer. You don't have to be a scientist. You can just be somebody that wants to get out there and just see it.
I run a night photography course that's aimed at folks that have digital SLR cameras and want to learn about shooting the night sky and shooting auroras. Sometimes folks come along to these workshops because they've never caught an aurora, so for them to see one for the first time and to witness that, it's an awesome thing. Just seeing the joy and hearing the joy, because there's usually a lot of screaming and jumping around involved.
The first sight of the little bits of colour on the screen, it had us both jumping up and down and literally screaming.
But I can't always guarantee an aurora, just so you know.
When I see an aurora, I'm a screamer. It's just this sensation of joy. It's just pure joy. And I think it's just the incredible beauty, the silent movement of it. It's really like nothing else.
And I look at how vast and how magnificent the aurora can be, and maybe there's something inside of me that says, maybe I can be that magnificent.
I'm absolutely sure I will never grow bored of watching auroras. No two are alike, and you never know what's going to happen.
If I won the lottery tomorrow and won $20 million and got to do whatever I wanted to do with the rest of my life, I would choose to chase the aurora in the wilderness. That's what I'd do. I would dedicate my life to that.